This is not a whiplash. This is just school on Monday the 20th of June 2022. So I go in and I get told that no one noticed that I was gone because I had Corona last week. Okay. Not surprised. Because these people don't really notice anything, like, at all. Anyway, so I'm just reading, and I finish the Batman Arkham Knight comic, or sorry, Arkham City comic. It's good. I don't have much else to say about it. And then I also finished the verse volume of Arkham Unhinged, which is another Arkham City comic, but it takes place. But the original Arkham City comic is a prequel, and Arkham Unhinged is a bit of a prequel, and some of it takes place during Arkham City. I just want to understand where, like, how it fits in the timeline, because one of the bits that I've seen, and this was in the second or third volume, actually quite a lot of it takes place after Protocol 10 starts, but that is literally just before the end, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't understand that. Because it takes place after Protocol 10, but before the end. I just don't understand. I think that's it. I have msmarvel here, but I'm pretty sure I did an FR for it. Yeah, so unless I made the final review on my tablet, I didn't do the final review. Let me just check. Nope, there are no pictures or videos on my tablet. So, final review, msmarvel V3. It's good. I swear I talked about this, but apparently not. It's good. Maybe it's in the 7 Seas review. Nope, apparently I didn't do it. Also, of course, when you watch my videos, you get recommended these movie recap channels that recap movies that are very, very popular, so that little kids who otherwise wouldn't have even heard of these movies ever in their entire life know what these movies are. And it's like, hey, the movie recap channel uploaded again, and it was about a movie called Good Will Hunting. You know, the movie that made Ben Affleck the youngest person to ever win the Oscar for Best Screenplay. Like, I've talked multiple times about how these channels are rating cinema, so of course they're getting recommended through my videos. Anyway, so msmarvel V3 is good. I like it. There are some bad stuff in it that I've screenshot and put on my Instagram, like, a lot of times it was like, hey, Muslims are oppressed in America. Yeah, really? How? I'll just read out one right now. I'll pick the random. I know he looks scary, Amir, but he's totally sweet. Everything is bigger in America. Even the canines. You can't have dogs in the house. They're not pure. I don't know. I'm guessing that is a Muslim. I don't even know what you would call it, like a rule or a tradition that dogs aren't pure. Like, just it pisses me off because I like dogs. Anyway, so yeah, the weird thing is that Volume 4 picks up where Volume 3 left off. It's not a reboot. Whereas basically everything else that I've done multiple volumes of, like Moon Knight, they are reboots, but this one isn't. Because Volume 4, Volume 1 is called Volume 5. and Volume 3 ended with Volume 4. So despite the fact that the volume number stayed the same, the issue number has reverted. So I'm doing an initial review for Volume 4 on its own, and it'll have its own final review. But it's good. Not much to say about it because it's just the same, nothing has changed. Oh, and there's also, I swear I've talked about this as well, but I don't see any reviews for it on the channel or on the gallery. But and I've deleted the comic as well, so I don't delete them until I finish them. So that's weird. But the Magnificent Miss Marvel, that's good as well. I just don't remember much from it because I read it like a while ago. Well, by a while I mean a week, but it's been a long week. Anyway, so a break. Oh, by the way, we are we're back in our normal study, and I was initially fine with that because I really didn't like being in the other place, but we had a teacher who I had for year 12, digital technology, who was great. She was one of the chillest teachers ever. We had our first period, and she was. I'm trying to figure out something to say that doesn't insult her, but she was the exact opposite of the way that she was in year 12 ICT. And that pissed me off. So, at break, I went to return Skullduggery 2 and borrow Skullduggery 3, but the librarian wasn't there, so I just left the book on the table. Anyway, on the second last period of study, like so, period 8. Actually, not second last period of study. The last period of study that I had. We had another guy who I've seen around, but never had him because I think he's a maths teacher, and I haven't had maths since year 12. And even then, I've had the same teacher. I had the same teacher for maths from year 10 onwards. Anyway, this guy was also being mean, and he actually broke Rule 32, which is do not disturb Dylan from reading. And I actually had an agreement with the head of year a while back, like in year 9, that I can read anything I want and I should not be disturbed from it. And I was disturbed because he said, and he said, "What are you doing?" Not in a inquisitive way, but to be like, "You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing." I said, "Reading." He said, "Whoa, you're not supposed to be reading. You're supposed to be studying." For what exams? Like, you asked us. This guy took us before lunch, and he said, "Do you have any more exams?" We all said no, because the exams ended for year 13 on the 8th of June. So, the exams ended 12 days ago. I don't know what we're supposed to be studying because there's nothing for me to do other than reading. Like, if I wasn't going to read, then I would have went on the Netflix or something. And I think they'd rather me read than go on the Netflix. But just, they broke Rule 32. Don't break the rules. Especially since Rule 32 had an agreement that's been going on for about 4 years now, maybe 5 years. Like, it's the only rule out of the 35 of them that has a years long agreement. Anyway, after that we had English, and we were writing stuff. Then we started to watch the Anthony Hawkins King Lear. I know I should probably save this for review if we're gonna finish it, which I don't even know why I'm saying that, because of course we're not gonna finish it, we never do. But I couldn't understand what was being said in it. Like, it's using the old language, which was the problem I had with Scarlet Letter, but with Scarlet Letter, I knew what was being said, I just didn't understand it. But with this, I couldn't even understand what he was saying. Sorry, I couldn't even hear what he was saying, never mind understand it, because half the time he was mumbling, and half the time he was shouting. So it'd be like, over and over again. And I just couldn't understand what anyone else was saying. But then when we were leaving, he kept me and my mate behind talking about how I went to see Kevin Hart, and I was talking about how I like the wedding and all. And he was talking, have you seen Top Gun yet? I said no, despite the fact the answer really. By no, I don't mean not yet. By no, I mean I'm not gonna watch it. His Twitter as of 1 to 5 p.m. Found out he wasn't my biological father as a teen. He's still the best dad in the world. Well, yeah. I mean, the quote that from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he may be your father, but he ain't your daddy. You know, like, I'm not even gonna explain it because there's, it's obvious. Brexiteers like me realize that it's impossible for Brexit to ever truly be done. I don't know enough about Brexit to confirm or deny that, but I would say yes, but only because radical leftists are trying their best to stop it through illegal means. What I mean by that is that, well, not illegal, but just, we had an election. The majority voted to leave. Therefore, we should leave. Why is WhatsApp trending? Let me guess there. They say that they're encrypted, but they're really looking at what you're saying. So, inciting violence via WhatsApp group. Now, say that instead of inciting violence for a WhatsApp group, they did it through, let's say, Gab. I know that the majority of you aren't going to know what Gab is. Gab is basically like Twitter, but for free speech, because this was made before Elon bought Twitter. And there was a guy who had posted on his Gab account that he was gonna commit like a terrorist act or something, and then he did it, and obviously the police found out that he said on Gab that he was gonna do it, and people were saying, "Oh, we need to shut down Gab because this guy was saying that he was gonna do a terrorist attack, and he did a terrorist attack." Well, how come when people say on stuff like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube that they're gonna commit a terrorist attack and then they commit the terrorist act, how come no one wants to shut down those sites? Like, there's no one calling for WhatsApp to be shut down. Is cryptocurrency a scam? There are scams in cryptocurrency, but overall it isn't. It's just the culture of crypto is cringe. Who's being reported? Boris, because party yet. You say, well, you have Matt Hancock's cock in your mouth. Ministry contacted the Times before Carrie Johnson's story was dropped. Okay. Harry Styles helps fan come out at Wembley show. Congratulations, you're a free man. Except he isn't really free because now he'll be remembered as that guy who Harry Styles helped come out. So instead of being your own person, you'll just be that guy at the Harry Styles concert. You know, people will just recognize. People will see it and think Harry Styles. Won't see it and think you. Like say Monica Lewinsky, right? People look at her and they don't think Monica Lewinsky. They think Bill Clinton. Excuse me. I know that they're two very different events, but I'm just trying to like explain what I mean. Quit football for 14 years. Ever homophobia stopped me playing? Well, it's very masculine, and these masculine people, they they will say homophobic things, but I don't think they mean it for the most part. I wasn't looking to look at Dominic Raab. I was going to look at hashtag cocaine, but apparently not. Also, I'm just going to assume that it means that Dominic Raab has been taking cocaine. If this isn't breaking news, all politicians do drugs. Like, it would be breaking news if a politician didn't do drugs. SNP's chief whip warns MPs over leaked Patrick Grady recording. Okay, I just read SNP and I follow the scum. There's something to talk about because the SNP are terrible. But I have nothing to talk about it. I once had more followers than the Riddler in the Batman 2022. There's no deeper shade of blue than the feeling of mulling over past Twitter accounts. A tweet on it got shared by Nick on his Telegram. I once had an account that had several Stonetoss retweets. Not sure if the anti-bow-tied individuals realize they're just gonna make bow-tied more popular and wealthier. Currency in 2022 equals attention. As they say, when your enemy's making a mistake, say nothing. It really do be like that sometimes. Yeah, I think that Stuss is the expert when it comes to his enemies, just putting them out there. This person put pineapple on pizza. He's the first person to do it. Why on pizza being Canadian makes it worse? Okay. The artist. Oh man, that guy's cake is way better than mine. The audience. Holy crap, 2 cakes. You will never trust how you feel about your life past 9 p.m. Germany reports annual producer inflation of 33.6% in May, the highest on record. Hey, I've seen this one. Currently filming Mad Lad, I think it's going to be 2 hours long. There's carnage, explosions, a lot of the stuff sounds exaggerated like a Michael Bay movie, but will confirm that all during research it's a mental story.